This is a story that is inspired by a spider that I found in my backyard. It's a red legged orb-weaving spider. Try saying that 5 times fast. But yeah, it's going to involve a spider throughout the whole video. So if you're scared of spiders, you're in for a ride. It was the middle of June, and my friends thought it'd be fun to go camping. I agreed. So to keep my friends anonymous, I refer to them as Seb and Jack. We settled on a date, June 16th. When that day came, we all brought our respective supplies. Seb brought food and 3 compasses for the 3 of us that he got from his rival store. Jack brought 3 tents, 3 sleeping bags, and 3 pillows. I brought a survival knife, a sniper rifle with the infrared scope, a pistol, and a katana that I always have on me. I was a sharpshooter at a gun range, and everyone called me, well, sharpshooter. See, I would only shoot with the mathematical knowledge that I wouldn't miss. Yes, I'm good at fast at math. At the dojo where I formerly trained with the katana, I was only called by my last name. We went off into the woods and we saw some cool-looking spiders. Now, I knew spiders. I studied them. I knew every species, at least in this forest that we were camping in. But we all saw a spider that's never been seen before. Its body was in the shape of a skull. I took a picture of it because I didn't want to touch it. I dared Seb to touch it. I even threw $100. Seb reached his finger out to touch the hairy, big spider that was at least a few inches about the palm of my hand. But he chickened out at the last second. We all laughed. "Let's set up camp here, guys. No need to go too into the woods," I said. My friends agreed and we set up camp. We got some rocks and wood to make a fire. Then I went hunting for a deer, a boar, or some other large animal for dinner. I climbed a tree a few meters from the campsite. I set up my rifle and waited. Seconds turned to minutes. Minutes turned to hours. Before I knew it, it was dark out and there was nothing. In fact, there were hardly even any bugs. It was getting late, so I packed up and headed back to camp. Once I got off the tree, I felt something on my foot. I got my phone out and I turned on the light. What I saw shocked me. It was one of the biggest skull spiders that I've seen. It was as big as a small puppy, and I kicked it off my foot. And it landed on its back, twitched and died with this horrible screeching sound. My God. Oh, why did I do that? That's a specimen I could have studied, I thought. Then I heard skittering, and I turned behind me to see hundreds of skull spiders of different sizes, and I ran to camp and told the others. Seb laughed and thought I was paranoid and seeing things. Jack, however, was pale white. "Jack," I said, "are you all right?" He didn't answer. He just ran into a tent. Seb did the same. I turned behind me to see the biggest skull spider that could possibly exist. I am not exaggerating whenever I say this, but it was as big as the pine trees that surrounded our camp. I dove into my tent and texted Seb and Jack to stay in their tents. "What the hell is that thing?" texted Seb. "Maybe camping was a bad idea," texted Jack. I didn't reply. I remembered the spider on my foot. Its scent must be on my shoe, I thought. I ran out of my tent to wash my shoe off in a nearby river. When I came back, Seb and Jack were unconscious, their tents torn as if an animal tore them from the top down. That spider was the one that did the damage. Out of anger, I pulled out my rifle and aimed for its abdomen and took a shot. I regretted that almost immediately. It shrieked and skull spider babies poured from it. I ran through the rain of spiders, grabbed my friends, and got out of the woods. Once we got out, all I could do was vomit from the fear and disgust while my friends came to. We ran to the nearest inhabited place and told the local police about everything. "That area is restricted. There's a reason why there's a barbed wire fence around the woods," said an officer. "There is no fence, sir," I said. The officer paused and swore for a solid minute. He then radioed to some channel that the spiders are on the loose. My stomach turned at that sentence. He sent us home, and we agreed never to go camping in the woods again. After that, Seb went to a therapist for 4 years every month, and Jack became an alcoholic trying to forget the night. But me, I only lost a year's worth of sleep, and I've seen worse. Kinda. Now, the only camping we do is in our backyards when we stay at each other's house. But we rarely, quote-unquote, camp, let alone set tents. I burned both my shoes and got new ones. What were those skull spiders? Specimens of a science experiment, maybe? I don't know, nor care. Whatever they can be their own thing as long as they leave us alone. However, it's been 6 years since then, and we decided to put the past behind us and go camping. But we always look for spiders, especially on June 16th.